The only real hope and change you'll ever get is from God. It's going to come from the Lord, or it's not going to come at all. It's going to come when you admit that you can't do it and that you've got to have His help.
I titled this show, The Sky is Falling, because we got 3 meteor showers happening at the same time, Mike. And that's never happened. I mean, this one is coming. We don't even know what comet it's from. What's going on?
Well, we got a mess, and we have more to come. You know, one of these meteor showers was responsible for the destruction of civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not like it's an unknown thing that gave humanity a setback. We're coming into the bulk of some of these meteor showers when the Earth goes into the tail debris of some of these objects. And here we are. You know, things are happening at breakneck pace, it seems.
Well, you said that we were going to go into a galactical plane. I remember you saying that in about 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. You said this. Are we there, Mike? Are we starting to hit the edge of it, or where are we?
We're getting close. We're getting close. We're in a brand new part of existence, you could say. We've always been moving, right? Always. We're like a vehicle that's going down a highway. We've never been here before. The entire galaxy is moving. So that puts us in different parts of existence we've not been in before. Unfortunately, this part of the existence is quite messy. It has a lot of debris in it. And our solar system is right in the bullseye to experience a lot of this debris.
Really?
It's going to affect our entire solar system. Yes.
So
Our entire solar system.
when Jesus said that you know, the heavens are going to be shaken, and the stars will fall like a fig tree casting its untimely figs when it's shaken of a mighty wind, that must mean some kind of meteor, brimstone, fireball, something. Well, how do you think what it meant?
Think of this. If the Father created all things, and it'd be like if we created this, we would know the path of the solar system at a given time. And so that was shared with us biblically and through prophets, that we're going through a time that is quite costly, meaning that, you know, the Father knows what we're about to go into. He set everything up. We're the ones that try our best to find out what it is. But once we start to enter into the debris area, we're not going to make a mistake, because it will seem like everything is going wrong, right? I do believe it's going to offset. It's going to mess up every calendar, every future date, most outlooks on most things. They'll be totally disrupted. We'll be in a brand new, place, a brand new area of life where we don't really know what's coming next, right? So I'm looking for a massive disruption in all future things, all future dates, everything. It'll be offset.
So as these events take place, and now the sun has been erupting, and we're going to have tomorrow. We're going to be hit with a radiation storm, which is something I don't rarely. Here's what they say that's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to have a radiation storm because of solar flares that are coming from a new sunspot. What does that mean? A radiation storm?
Higher amounts of radioactive material, the solar winds being ejected with force, means we're going to have atmospheric penetration of some of those particulates. And of course, we do have chaotic regions in our magnetosphere. So we're not protected like we used to be. We're not.
So protons are raining down on the Earth. A minor S1 class radiation storm is the result of an M1.9 class solar flare that came from sunspot 4492. It's going to hit the Earth tonight and tomorrow. And then the same time that's happening, we got these 3 different streams from meteorites, debris from, I guess, comets, exploded comets, maybe meteorites. That's going to really be, the sky is going to be filled with fireballs and meteorites and pieces of comets, and It's happening, ain't it?
Yeah. What is that? July, I believe it was July 12th through the August 23rd was the Southern Delta Aquarius meteor shower. It maxes out, peaks out tonight and tomorrow night.
So tonight
And
after
so,
the show,
yeah.
it'd be a good time to
Yeah.
go out. If you got a clear night tonight, folks, after the show, walk out and look up in the sky and watch for about a little while, and I bet you see something, don't you, Mike?
Yeah. Well, we're going through that debris, and again, our atmosphere is different. It's just not the same anymore, right? So we've been having greater and greater atmospheric penetrations of these of meteorites, of this dust, these big rocks left behind. So I wouldn't be surprised if we'd see a lot more land impacts from these meteor showers. And of course, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, Capricornids, the Alpha Capricornids. We're going through that. Of course, the Delta Aquarius, and
What is the third one?
There's one more. There's one more, which is the Perseids,
Yeah,
something like that. That one is dangerous. That one has history with the Earth. That is, in fact, one of the meteor showers that has been coming through, but has a much older remnant fingerprint on the Earth. And we're going to go through more. These are not the only ones, but all of them carry a potential risk of some sort of land impact, right? These tails that we go through, some parts are thin, some parts are thick. It just so happens that we're going through thicker and thicker parts of these tails, which carry much more debris than usual, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, to predict if we're going to have some of that heavier debris actually penetrate our atmosphere and hit the surface of the Earth. That could actually happen in the month of August, right? That could actually happen. Yeah, that could actually happen. It could happen tonight. It really could happen tonight. Most of the debris from the Capricornids meteor shower is not going to be that large, but you always have these objects you can't really track. And so from these meteor showers, devastations could potentially come.
So you're saying that we can't really track all of the rocks that's flying at us.
No. If you put your finger in the sky, right? Put your finger up, your finger, arm's length from your face, and look up at the sky. Your fingertip is what we're able to track. The rest we're not able to track. Okay? So if you look at your fingertip in comparison to the sky, that's what we're able to track. We're not able to track anything else. But an area the size of our fingertip.
That's very limited.
There you go.
So there's no guarantee.
So the rest of it we can't really see. That's right.
Well, now there is one big rock we can see, Apophis.
The other.
What's the
There's
other?
something else. Well, there's some bad stuff before Apophis hits him. If we dodge everything, then Apophis will certainly dip into our atmosphere. But
wait. Yeah, this is coming April 13, 2029. But you're telling me, wait a minute. But the other, is there some?
Yeah, they found some tracks that are in front of Apophis that could potentially, cause us some real issues.
Is there a big rock in that mix?
Yeah, they're big. Yeah, they're not little.
We're not hearing anything about it, Mike.
You're not going to hear anything about that. Anything that will slam into the surface of the Earth, you're not going to hear about. See, it always happens this way. The next day you hear, something harmlessly slammed into the ocean, right? Or something hit this landmass in an unpopulated area, or you don't hear anything at all. You'll hear it 2 or 3 months later. They're not going to cause a panic by telling anybody of an impact that will absolutely get them.
Is this is this what you're saying in 2027 that you've been hinting at?
Yeah, 27 forward, right? Is going to be actually this year going forward is very indeterminate type of situation.
So we might get hit with something big this year and we don't even know about it?
Yes, as as a
Is that why
big
all
possibility.
these bunkers, these billionaires are building elaborate bunker systems? The nations of the world, and I was studying this earlier in the week, the nations of the world, matter of fact, it's in my new book, folks, Trump versus the Beast. I actually talk about all the different billionaires, where they have them, where all the different nations that have these incredible, they're not bunkers. I mean, I'm talking about their cities. They're
Complexes, yeah.
Can you talk about that, Mike, a little bit? I mean, without giving anything
Yeah,
away?
there are, I had an example. If you take a basketball, right? A basketball, and if you were to put silly putty around that basketball, the width of your fingernail, right? Which is not very big.
No.
Which is about half of a millimeter, right? The
Okay.
thickness of the silly putty, which is a very thin layer around the entire basketball, that would be the crust of the earth that we're familiar with.
That's
So the
nothing.
basketball would be the earth, right?
Okay.
And that little thin layer of silly putty on the outside of that basketball, the width of the depth of your fingernail, which is about half of a millimeter, is the crust of the earth. Listen, from the tops of the highest mountains to the depths of the sea. That's what that covers.
So
in comparison with the
okay,
earth.
so I'm showing my fingernail on camera here.
Uh-huh. It's very thin, right? It's very
Yeah,
thin.
real thin.
So if you take a basketball, that thin layer is from the tops of the mountains to the depths of the sea. To the depths of the sea. Your fingernail covers
But the rest
that
of the
entire
earth,
area.
we're not even.
There you go.
We're
There
barely,
you go. And that's only one layer of habitable space. You have multiple layers of habitable space below your fingernail. There are other fingernails inside the earth, habitable space that can harbor life. And then you get down to the molten core and things of that nature. So when you're looking at the scale of the earth, it's enormous, number one. It is perfectly formed to sustain life, and you have life on the surface of this planet. But it will be nothing to have life on multiple levels of the interior portions of the earth, right below our
But we don't have
layer.
any sunlight down there. How do we sustain life?
Well, no, the core of the earth is theorized. Theorized means it's not absolute, right? It's not absolute.
Okay.
The iron core is not absolute. That's the best scientific guess being come up with to explain what's happening with magnetos or the magnetic shield with the magma in the earth. We simply don't know what the construction of the interior of the earth is because we cannot get there. And there is an impenetrable observation wall, a layer around the interior of the earth we can never go past. Nothing can go past that area. So everything is theorized, right? It's the best scientific guess. But there have been too many times when, for example, it's been at night and large cavernous regions have been discovered full of light. So where's that light coming from, right? Where's that light coming from?
I don't know.
So there are a lot of mysteries inside the earth we simply don't know. We just assume that, we do know for the comfort of everybody and continuity of scientific discovery. So it gives everybody a type of comfort level. But just imagine, and given the scale of the earth, knowing that little fingernail thick crust is everything we know of the surface of the earth and most of the interior of the earth. And then you have multiple layers below that. Anything could be down there. Anything. And it's a known fact that all life does not need light.
That's true. I know
Right?
that. Yeah.
It just simply does not need light. But the ocean also can provide light to interior portions of the earth in a way that we never imagined. The poles can do the same thing, right? That can sustain quite a few things. There can also be artificial light down there from the magma itself. Hot region, pressurized regions of magma can give off lots of light, right? Simply because it's highly pressurized. So, you don't know. When they're digging down into the earth, they have noticed temperature changes and pressure changes. And in some cases, it gets very cold deep inside of the earth. And some areas at that same level, it's very hot. So it's very difficult to tell exactly what's underneath there. The truth is, we simply don't know. We don't know.
Wow.
They try to find out. We don't know. We only know about the thin layer at the surface of the earth. So anything could be happening below our feet. I have a personal belief, Pastor Paul, that
Okay.
most things of the ancient world that carried on to this day, most things that people are seeing are coming from these lower layers of the earth. That's what I believe.
From the ancient
That's exactly
world.
what I
So,
believe.
okay, so tell us a little bit more about that from the ancient.
Well, they know, I can't tell you how, and I can't tell you who or any of the details, but they know there are a few breakaway civilizations on this earth with us that we have never seen before.
That are living a couple layers or 2 or 3 layers below us.
Well, in the oceans.
Oh, in the ocean.
In the oceans.
Below the ocean?
Just think of a breakaway civilization in the ocean.
In the
No,
ocean.
not underneath, in the ocean, parts we can't get to. Think of a civilization that didn't die out. They just continue to go forward. Human beings, some sort of a tribe or something like, they know there are civilizations like that. They know that. They know it. But they can't do anything about it.
So, and I guess we went down there with submarines and different kind of small little mechanical subs that's got way down deep. Have they been able to identify or get pictures? Have they got something they can confirm?
Oh, yeah. Sure, but they're not going to share it.
No, I guess
Because
not.
if they did, everybody would be horrified. There are certain shapes of things that if you were to see those shapes, it would put a bit of fear in your soul, right? Just to see the shape of it. And it's not that it's living or anything, but just to see the shape of it would put fear in your soul. There are things too large moving in the oceans. It's just impossibly large. There are big things that disappear into the depths of the oceans, deeper parts of the oceans that we can't get to. There's an ocean within the ocean, and we can send nothing below that layer, right? Imagine going to the bottom of the ocean, you hit a layer, and you cannot send anything below that layer. It's still water, some sort of water, but you can't send anything below that layer. There are areas like that. It's a lot of pressure down there.
That's a
right?
ton of pressure. We
pressure.
couldn't survive that. But
No.
whatever entities that are living down there, they can survive that pressure.
Yeah, and just imagine if they're just ancient human beings.
Because I know that lost civilizations have been swallowed by the water. We find them later, they get down in the ocean, all of a sudden they find ruins of a city. And so, the water has changed, the earth changes, there's been deep impacts that have hit. We know about the flood of Noah, but since then even, we've had the crust of the earth, the movement of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why you talk about that eventually there's going to be water up on the surface of the earth that people will be standing in. But
Yep.
is the pole shift got anything to do with this? The shifting of the poles, because in Isaiah 24 it talks
Yes.
about this.
It's they scientifically they say it takes 5,000 years for poles to 5,000 or 25 million years for the poles of the earth to reverse, right? And that's theorized. I can tell you that right now. That's theorized.
Okay.
They have found multiple layers in the earth where some of the magnetite and other, minerals that they can find that are in fact magnetized or oriented differently based upon the north and south poles. They have found multiple layers, which means the earth has changed its orientation countless times throughout history. And it looks like in as little as 8 months it has totally flipped like that magnetically. Now we know that if it flips magnetically, something awful begins to happen on the inside. The forces of the earth are sustained by some sort of generated field inside, right? Something's going on inside the earth that has never stopped this entire time. So you're looking at rotation. And this is why I just think certain things are absurd when you really think about it. Think about a ball that has an interior core that's been in motion this entire time. Since the earth has existed, it's been in motion the entire time. What in the world? Inertia does not work that way, first of all, right? Because you're going to lose force. You're going to lose um, mass in certain areas, it's going to slow down. Friction is going to operate. So you have to have some sort of external isolated force to keep a rotation going, or it's going to slow down. What has been sustaining the interior rotation of the Earth this entire time? I do not believe theoretically what they're proposing is that good. Even given the sheer size of the Earth, it should have stopped by now. And they know we've had reversals inside the Earth. So can you imagine the forces involved to cause the interior portions of the Earth to reverse and to start up again? You simply can't do that with what we have in there, what they're theorizing. You can't do that. So something else is going on inside the Earth they don't want to discuss, they don't want to investigate, which leads me to believe that we're these things that we're going through are largely, they're not what they've been teaching in science. They're not happenstance. They're not these uncontrolled episodes. It's almost like they're timed, right?
They are. They got to be
perfectly timed.
Yes.
Because one of the big giveaways is this: humanity. Humanity, every time it starts out, it's like an infant, right? Humanity doesn't know anything. It goes through the exact same stages, just like a baby, going through trimesters. And then all of a sudden, humanity, once it reaches a stage where it's bored with its whatever faith was on the planet, and it begins to go through a cycle of corruption. Every single time it goes through a cycle of corruption, and then the people every single time begin to rebel against everything they establish.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't work. All of a sudden, destruction comes. Every single time destruction comes.
Yes.
And so we have ruins
Judgment
of cities and everything else. Yeah. And I believe this time is the last time, because no other time had a Messiah. We have a Messiah.
Yes, we do.
Historically, nobody else talked about a Messiah. Nobody else. We have the Messiah. I believe it's the last time. But I believe that these things on the earth are running by a timetable. The Father's timetable, perfectly controlled. They have tried to make it seem like it's random, but it just doesn't hold up. There are too many intervals that overlap, that, things continue to happen. They keep happening. Everything is off schedule pertaining to, that if it were random, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't. We're long overdue to be destroyed, right?
So in other words, you're saying God has put into motion a perfected timeline for not only the earth changes and the cosmic changes that's affecting the sun and all the planets. You got all these meteorites, you got all these fireballs, you got everything, big rocks like Apophis coming, and maybe others that you're saying before Apophis that we didn't hear about. So all of this was timed. All of this is time, and it's also timed to the attitudes of humanity. Is that Jesus tied them together in Matthew 24, right?
It is, because at the end cycle, where humanity goes through all these different phases, and then they get their technology, and then they begin to investigate their own mindsets, and then they begin to not like each other. Then they begin to reinvent themselves. It's very important. Every single time they do this, they'll reinvent themselves for longevity, to try and live longer, this and the other. They'll change what they originally are. That's a high state of rebellion. God didn't make a mistake when we were born, but you have a lot of people who reject what they are. They want to become something very different. Civilizations have gone through this, and then destruction comes, but destruction always happens at a time when humanity has totally rebelled against how God set things in motion. They would say how things are naturally in motion, right? But that natural part, that word natural, could be a bit deceiving, because it's more designed than anything else, right? Kind of like the sun too. Nobody's talking about these big Mars or these big Saturn type objects. They keep going to the sun. They'll stay there for a few minutes. You see this vortex of plasma going up to this, looks like a planet, pulls up to the sun, recharges, and just goes away. What is that all about?
I don't know.
Right? This is happening like once a month. They're catching this too many times. This is happening all the time. What is that?
What are you saying?
It's not a glitch.
You're saying something pulls up next to the sun and recharges itself?
This is every month. That's what it looks like. It looks like something pulls up to the sun. It looks like a planet. It's much bigger than the Earth, right? You see plasma going up to this object, and then it will do that for a few seconds or so, and then it just goes away.
Now, is it a different one each time, or is it's not
Yes,
the same?
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, okay.
These are different sizes, different directions,
Okay.
different portions of the sun, different perspectives. That's how you can rule out. This is not an error in optics, right? And they're quite clever, because those who have made these sun observing mechanisms, they know how to build filters in there to lag frame rates and do all sorts of
So
things that
you're
nobody
not
can see.
saying these are natural entities. Are you saying this is something that's controlling these things?
There's something else happening that we simply can't observe, right? We don't have our own objects out there that can look at the sun. We rely upon NASA. We rely upon JPL and all the individuals who have optics out there. But we know they have filtered their data. You're not getting the raw footage on the internet.
We're not.
Right?
No.
And look at the people who've dealt with space, like Elon Musk. Prior to him going into space, he was always talking about aliens, this, that, and the other, as soon as he started launching rockets. That was the end of that
Yeah,
conversation.
he said there's no. I've been up there. I've looked around. There's nothing there. All
which
this
is
time
foolish.
before that, he said there was, and then he figured there was. He theorized. He believed it. But once he got up there and put up his constellation, he said, "Look, I covered the sky more than anybody in the earth. There is nothing."
Yeah, which is quite foolish, right?
Right. It's
Because
foolish.
all of them carry the symbol of Apollyon when they go up into space. Why? Why?
Wow.
Why carry the symbol of Apollyon?
Wow.
And why do they continue to take artifacts up in crafts? Why would you build a craft in a chamber for an artifact to go into space like that?
But let me ask
Why?
you, why would they do that? And that brings me to CERN, because CERN is built over top of what was once the pagan area that worshipped Apollyon.
Mhm.
And now CERN has shut down, Mike. CERN is shut down in a total retrofit. They said they got to get ready for the year 2030 for the implementation. Implementation of what? And I went and looked at the UN's
For the new world.
Yeah, the UN. If you look at the UN United Nations 2030 agenda, it's a whole new world they're talking about. It's a communism super.
That'll be done by 2028, guaranteed.
Yeah,
All of it will be done by
As
2028.
Trump leaves office,
It's going to be done by 2028. It's going to be turnkey. And it looks like there's nothing anybody can do about it.
No,
That's what it looks like right now. It looks like that right now. Right now, it looks
because
like that.
okay, and the Bible says it's coming, so there is nothing anybody can do about it. I mean, we can resist it, we can pray against it, we can push forward, but we can't stop prophecy. You're saying in 2 years we're going to be at a point where they could launch the Great Reset?
Yeah, it's going to be something far more than a reset, right? In fact, reset's not even the word, Pascal. When these guys, the thing of the system, we already have socialism coming in, right?
Yes,
we already
do.
have 3/4 of the Democrats who are now identifying with socialism.
With socialism.
So socialism is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
No,
The
it's
numbers of civilians that are beginning to back the Democrats, that number has grown outrageously, right?
Yes, you're right.
Republican support is dropping.
Yes.
It's dropping big time.
Yes.
Right? Why is it dropping? Because you can look at the facts, and the
Affordability.
facts are not beneficial to the people. They're still paying the same prices. Things are still happening the same. We still have this degradation effect. And why do
Yes.
we still have this degradation effect? Because you have corporations who are setting prices. Nobody should be deceived about this. Corporations set prices. If I owned a corporation,
Yep.
if I own a corporation who deals with food, I can set those prices. Have you looked at the profits, the personal profits of these corporations? It is outrageous. So think of a corporation, Pascal, whose profits have tripled since 2024. Tripled. Yet inflation is high. Why? Because they keep setting prices higher, but their profit margins are getting higher and higher. That's crazy. And what that means is they're making 3 times more money than what they used to.
Yep.
They can lower those prices, make them affordable
Yes,
for
they could.
everybody. Right?
But they won't.
But corporations are running most of what we see in the USA. Just think about that.
Yes.
Corporations, and we have a government faction right now who's attempting to fight certain levels of that. But these people are also ruthless. You're not going to cause a billionaire to lose his billions. You're not going to do that.
No. In my book, Mike, it's coming out, Trump versus the Beast. I deal with the 10 kings of Revelation. The 10 kings, I believe, are the leaders of 10 different categories of corporations. Okay, banking, big bank, big pharma, big agriculture, big media. We can go on and on. Okay, big education. There's 5. I got 10. There's 10 of them. If you look at how they can set the pricing and the structure of everything, and here's one of the things it says by the United Nations that they're going to do when it comes to food. They said they want to, number 1, no poverty on the earth.
That's right.
Okay, now how they will do that is expanding social safety net programs. Socialism. Creating jobs through economic development.
Yep.
Pay people to, whether they work or not. Improving access to education and job training. Expanding access to banking and microfinancing. Investing in infrastructure in poorer regions. Now, this is the one that really, this area, that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is how they're going to have zero hunger. Here's how they're going to do it. Increasing agricultural productivity.
That's right.
Supporting farmers with improved seeds. Seeds. That's GMO. It's got to be.
That's right.
Irrigation technology. They're going to.
That's right.
Reducing food waste. That means limiting what you can have, right? Rationing. Improving food distribution systems, school meal programs, and emergency health. So when I see the word improving seeds and reducing food waste, what I see is larger GMO production and limited food per person. Am I kind of right? This is a socialism plan, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to happen. Think about feeding the world. How do you feed the world? Well, see, they didn't mention the number 1 thing. The birth rate around the world is dropping. People are not interested in having children.
You're right.
They're not.
You're
okay?
right.
Many people are fixed these days. So automatically the population is beginning to dwindle.
Drop.
There will come a time when there's hardly going to be children on the earth.
When's the
Children
last
are going
time,
to be
Mike?
highly unpopular.
You know what's amazing? You just walk down the street and tell me how many pregnant women you see.
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. And that's a haunting. That's haunting.
Yeah.
Well, I told you a long time ago, Pastor, I told you that in my dreams there are no children playing outside. Right?
Empty
None.
playgrounds.
No children.
Empty playgrounds.
You cannot see. You don't hear children outside.
No.
And now back then, you heard children. 15 years ago, you heard children outside.
Yes.
You don't hear children outside anymore.
No.
That's haunting.
Yes.
That's very haunting. So, and then you have this after this government is dissolved and it's gone, and another type of governmental council takes its place completely. We're going to live in a brand new domain. Okay, it's going to be no more of one person can amass tons of wealth. That will not take place.
So there'll be no more billionaires and trillionaires. It's all going to get distributed down.
It's going to be, it'll be a controlled system. Now, a person will still have to. They're still going to have to, work for what they get.
Right.
The difference is you're dealing with a different populace. I'm telling you, the populace is not going to be the same.
So
they're going to go along with everything. The biggest change coming is the people. The plan is just going to accommodate what the people want. That's the sad part. It used to be that a system would change and the people would be oppressed. Nope. The people are changing and the system is simply going to accommodate what the people want.
So, Mike, are you talking about a ruling class who will decide the distributing of food, money, social benefits, Medicare, everything being distributed by a ruling class? There's somebody going to rule this. Somebody's in charge, okay? I mean, AI is going to play a big role, but you're saying there's no more billionaires. There'll be no more multi-corporations running and setting the prices.
It'll be different.
Capitalism will dead on the rise.
You're going to have a different power center. Now, here it is. You ready? Here it is.
Okay.
Right now as we speak, the power centers are changing. They're not people anymore.
You're right.
People are not
You're
the
right.
power centers.
You're
It's,
right.
it's kind of like when you talk about who's the most powerful corporation out there, who's the richest corporation out there. Well, right now, currency is no longer just currency, right? Currency is influence. Right now, currency is influence. Who dictates what corporation gets more money than the other? The media does.
Wow.
The media does.
Big media.
The media does. When kids watch media and they begin to see these little advertisements here, this person likes this here, it's based on what the populace likes. They no longer bend to the marketing aspect of things, right? But in everything they do, it's almost like this group approval process they go through. If these kids see something that it could be stupid to us, if they approve it, I'm telling you, it's going to be number one.
Are they
in
going
less
to
than a week.
eliminate elections, Mike? Just forget about it.
There'll be no need for elections.
No. There'll be
Because you're going to
ruling.
have a system, you'll have a system in place that will enforce, I'm going to say that again, it will enforce the framework. Let me tell you what we've done without knowing. You ready?
I'm ready.
They're already, right now, there is I'm going to call it a sub-beast in
Okay.
operation, and
Okay.
nobody can kill it.
I agree.
Now, let me tell you how nobody can kill it. There is we know the rule of law, right? America's basis, one of the pillars of America, of free worlds, is the rule of law. But here's something about the rule of law that we didn't quite see. The rule of law has lots of amendments, right? It's been altered, changed. It is not the rule of law we used to have. It's not. It's been changed too much. And here's the problem with that. It's been changed, and it does not require people to stay in power. See, people can die off. The rule of law stays. People serve the rule of law. Then a person can leave, a person can pass away, a whole new group can come in. But they're going to serve the rule of law. The rule of law is in place, and it's not going anywhere. It's always going to be here some way, somehow. It is immortal. People serve the rule of law now. That's what snuck in on us. Man used to dictate and utilize the rule of law because they had morals. We live in a world now, it doesn't matter if a person has morals or not, right?
No,
We have
you're right.
similar things, just like the rule of law, that are in place. It doesn't. If somebody dies, it'll simply get somebody new to represent it. But it's always going to be in power. So mankind has made something that will not die. It is fully alive. It has overpowering rights. It gets the last word, and it dictates all of what we do. Right? Man made it, but now man can't get rid of it. And it's been altered and changed and corrupted, and it's going to be corrupted even more based upon the ideologies of those who step into power. They will have more amendments, right?
Yes.
This has happened right underneath our noses. And whether we like it or not, even if it's corrupt, can't get rid of it. It's like freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is supposed to be great, right?
Right.
It is. But a person can stand up with a megaphone and curse out Jesus Christ in front of a church all day long, and nobody can do anything about it.
No, that's right.
That's the perversion of freedom of speech. Now, to me, that's not freedom of speech. That is not. If you're exercising the Bill of Rights without morals, it's no longer the Bill of Rights.
Well,
It is
if you're trampling,
something else.
if you stepping on the rights of others, then if you think you have the right that you can walk on top of the rights of others, that's when that's null and void. And I think
That's what they're doing. It
That's
doesn't work
exactly-
without morals. If there are no morals, it's not the Bill of Rights.
it's not. And it's not
It
what the
is
framers.
it's another amendment to the rule of law.
Yeah, it's
They're
not what the
using it like
framers.
the rule of law.
It is
No.
not what the framers intended. Every man to have freedom did not mean that freedom to walk on top of another guy's freedom.
No.
No.
That's right.
That's
That's
what
right.
they're
But
doing.
that's what, and so Satan has instilled within mankind to pervert every good thing that was for mankind. But right under our noses, it happened. America's religion is changing.
Yes, it is.
Think about that. But we shouldn't
Yes.
be fighting Islamic ideologies in America that's founded upon Christianity and the Ten Commandments. What in the world? But we have made something unto ourselves. And now it does not need us. We need it. And whether we die or not, it's going to remain in power.
That's the beast kingdom that's coming into play. I quote you a lot in my book, Trump versus the Beast. And the reason I do, and you're not the only one I quote, but Dr. Tom Horn, Gary Stearman, Jack Van Impe, David Jeremiah. I mean, you name them, I quote them. I quote Mike quite a few times in here because your observation of the things that are coming upon the earth, and then we're watching them develop, is very astute. And I think that what we have to do is we have to look at this thing and say, you can't fight. You can fight it, but we can't stop it. I mean, we can slow it down a little. We're sort of like bumps in the road as Christians, and we're to occupy till the Lord comes. But really, this monster is too big, Mike. It's 7-headed. It's blasphemous. It's going to run us over no matter what we do. I mean, and that's what the Bible said was going to happen. Am I right?
Yeah. And most importantly, we know it cannot rise unless God allows it to rise.
That's exactly right.
If God allows it to rise, nobody's going to stop it from
He's
rising.
going to let it, because it's
sure
right
is.
in his word. We're going to have
Sure
an
is.
Antichrist. We're going to have a false prophet. We're going to have 10 kings that follow these guys. They're going to implement a system they're going to take every right and every freedom. You know, when what's his name? Klaus Schwab, when he said you're going to own nothing and you'll like it, that was what he's saying, is we're going to limit you to tiny houses or to whatever it is we want to put you in. You're going to get so much food, so much medical care, and if you don't like it, that's up to you, but you better like it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. And yes, basketball, and you know what? Guess who that affects? It's not going to affect these new children. It does not affect these college students out there. It does not. I have seen these kids. You can put them in a warehouse, right? Put chairs in the warehouse.
They don't care.
Put blankets in there.
They don't care.
Stick a TV where they can watch YouTube, and I'm telling you,
They're happy.
They are in heaven. Yes.
They don't care about material things or
all they care about is sitting in a chair
in front of
and looking at something. That's why their butts are square, probably. They're just sitting in the same spot for so long. I hate to put it that way, but I'm trying to make it visual here because
that's what they do.
It's not going to bother these kids.
Is it
it's not
because,
gonna do it.
Are you saying that they've been electronically programmed? That they don't think about property ownership? They don't think about entrepreneurship?
Fully indoctrinated, right? They have been fully indoctrinated, and reinforcement programming has been utilized so that they become the enforcers of the whatever ideology they're under the guise of now, right? It's kind of like us. We didn't know this, but there's a system in the world that programs everybody, right? And public education is where it all begins, because in school they reinforce, if you're not with the group, you're an outsider, and if you're an outsider, you're going to be ridiculed, and nobody wants to be the outsider. No. So everybody does their best to be like the group. So if the group is wearing a certain type of shoes, that's what everybody's going to go for. If the group is doing whatever they're doing, everybody's going to try and conform to the group. No one wants to be the outsider. A person grows up, right? And then we begin to reinforce that. Having been programmed by that, we reinforce those same things upon our kids.
That's right.
And upon other folks. We become the law enforcement for the programming for every generation that comes in. And we don't even know it, right? Like UFOs. And back in the day, people say, stop talking about that. That stuff doesn't exist. And people who knew nothing about the subject, they didn't investigate or anything, automatically they were experts on what did not exist. That is programming. If a person they're not familiar with a subject, they don't know what exists and what does not exist, yet they would take the position of what they have been programmed with and enforce that upon somebody else. That is programming. That's programming.
Yes. Predictive. So you're saying also it's predictive programming. I mean, it's besides programming or brainwashing. And that's a lot of brainwashing going on in the in the education system, in the video game world, in the virtual world, in the meta world. I don't even know how many worlds there is now.
Everywhere.
It's programming.
And that's why you really have to be careful, which is why I'm normally on the opposite side of the fence. I know people get angry at me because I don't quite flow with the water, but there are certain things that people have been programmed to say, and they don't realize what they're doing is emphasizing something that one of these controllers has made up. All right. For example, I'll give you an example. We have prophecy. That's beautiful. But how many times has the world given us one of its prophecies and it's been pushed louder than God's prophecy?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Just think about that.
Disclosure's
Think
one
about
of them.
that.
Disclosure's one
Yeah.
of them. I mean, they push this disclosure.
Financial collapse.
Financial
It's
collapse.
been a financial collapse every 4 months. It's coming. For the last 50 years, 60 years, it's coming, right? But it's never come, is my point. It has not come. People have been programmed to think this way. If a person lives like that, guess what? They're totally controllable.
No,
Right?
you're right. You're right.
That's
If
not
you're
freedom.
living in, because you're living in fear and you're living in, I gotta.
That's right.
Oh no, it's gonna collapse. It's gonna collapse.
That's right.
I gotta hang on.
That's
I gotta
right.
hold on. I gotta
That's
wait.
right.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. So we don't even know it, but we're programmed, and that's why we're in the position we're in. But it's also why God has given us a reprieve to break loose from this stuff. The church can totally
Praise
break
God.
free from all of
Praise
it right now.
God. Amen.
And I believe that the world would follow the narrative that all the church has to do is put a foot forward. That's it. That's all.
That's all. Mike, speaking of churches, have you seen that there's a lot of churches being burnt down now? A lot of
Yep.
these older churches, 150-year-old, 140-year-old.
Yeah.
It's happening in America. It's happening in the United
Yes.
Kingdom. Is this a program plan? Is this an implementation of what's been ordered to be done?
Yeah, it's happening too much. And
Yeah.
one suggestion to a person, right? You give a suggestion to a person. I'll tell you how it works. You'll have people that get together, right? You'll have let's call them an agent who'll get around people that don't know this person. They'll sit and listen to the conversations of many people in public places. Then they'll give a suggestion. Well, somebody ought to burn them down, right? And then they'll walk off. That's all they say. Then they'll walk off. Then they'll go somewhere else and say the same thing. Well, somebody ought to burn them down. Then they'll go somewhere else and do the same thing. They do that about 50 times in one day. They have sown a seed. That seed is going to take off. And then eventually it's going to take place.
Well, what about?
And it just so happens that 5 years ago, Pastor Paul,
Okay.
that was a saying that was everywhere, that somebody ought to burn the churches. That was a saying from terrorists 5 years ago.
Yes.
And
it
now
was.
it's starting to happen all over the place, right? Because it normally takes about 4 to 5 years for that mental programming to kick in, where people are desperate enough and believe in enough causes to do it.
What about assassination? The word assassinate the president, kill Trump.
Can't get
kill
away
Trump.
from it. I hate to say this because I try to dodge this area, but we're going to have, I'd say no less than a dozen folks.
Are going to be killed.
They're just not going to make it.
And you're talking public figures too. I know you are.
Yes.
And
yes.
not all politicians. Some of them are going to be pastors. Some of them are going to be
Influential folks.
Yeah,
They're just not gonna
influential.
make
There
it.
you go.
They're not going to make it. They're just not going to make it. And when it happens, it'll introduce some of the remaining components into society of what's needed to completely alter it.
I mean, we've seen
completely alter.
politicians being murdered. We've seen the guy who was the head of Humana shot down, murdered in the street. We saw Charlie Kirk be murdered in cold blood. We have President Trump. They've tried at least 4 times. I mean, how close they got, not counting all the bunch of them that try. And there's assassinating teams. He basically said the other day, I don't know if I'll make it to this term. You know, I wonder if he's had a premonition like Abraham Lincoln. A premonition. Don't you wonder?
I do believe that. I believe that because I think that there are certain people, when God calls you, right, he'll let you know how you're going.
Yes.
I know he showed me how I was going. I didn't like it, but I said, yeah, I'll do it anyway.
I hope
I
it's
didn't
not.
like
I
it,
hope
but,
it's not for a long time, Mike.
Well,
time.
I'll get it. The job will be done. You know, my task will be done. So I'm fine with it. It's not comfortable or anything, but I guess the point is, you just end up saying yes anyway. But yeah, you have a lot of folks out there, I believe, that are like that. They know it.
Do you
They're
think
not going to tell
it's going to
everybody.
be? You think in the next 2 years there'll be at least a half a dozen prominent individuals that'll be killed or more?
Yeah, I'd say no less than that we're going to go through a
Did Lindsey
real
Graham?
phase of change.
Did somebody murder Lindsey Graham?
He went to the Ukraine, right? Why did he go to the Ukraine?
I don't know.
Why?
He come back. He was
Why?
home 20 minutes and fell dead.
Pastor, you know, a guy can touch your door handle on your car. You
Yeah.
come back and touch your door handle. You can sit in that car and you're going to have a cardiac arrest.
Mike, can
Right then and there.
this is a question I got to ask you. Can they poison you in a way that they can make your mind go crazy or slowly lose your or
Sure.
go into some kind of dementia
Sure.
and just slowly
Sure.
ease away? Have you?
They can induce dementia.
Yeah,
They can induce
can't
dementia.
they?
They can induce Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Can they do it
induce
with a
that.
handshake, Mike?
Sure, there are chemicals that will destroy the frontal lobe, which will also stop your ability to have cohesion, empathy, and all these other things, right? So when that happens,
Wow.
mass confusion settles in. When mass confusion settles in, you begin to live in an anxious or anxiety state. When that happens, you're going to lose your memory. When you lose your memory, you're going to get paranoid. When you get paranoid, your attitude will turn, right? And then you'll slowly self-destruct. And then you'll medically go way down the tube. So of course, yes, they have all these areas they have looked into, studied, perfected.
And they
yeah.
know what they know what chemicals to use to make that happen.
Absolutely. Just like they know which sound waves can shut down certain organs.
Wow.
They know what sound waves affect the kidneys, what sound waves affect the liver, what sound waves affect the lungs, what sound waves affect the heart, what sound waves affect your brain, different parts of the brain. They have studied all of this. All of it.
When we went
Every single
into
last bit of it.
when we went into Venezuela and made that move, and we call it the discombobulator. What was it? Was it scrambling their brains? Was it making them sick? What was going on here?
Well, states of confusion, right? Because they have a policy, I guess you could say, when you're employing a tactic. You want to be fast. You want to be violent. You want to have lots of noise that causes confusion. If you can implement that any other way, then they will impose that upon another enemy. It's quite effective, right? Quite effective. And they get things done quickly. You can also put people in a fog fairly quickly, right? You know how people zone out? You know how they zone out?
Oh yeah.
They don't know what's going on, right? You can do that.
Is it
You can do that with
temporary?
electronics,
Is
too.
it
Yes.
temporary?
Yep.
And then they eventually
And you'll never know it's done to you. That's the sad part.
you just go into a fog of thinking.
And no doctor can ever prove that anybody did anything to you either.
Wow. No doctor can prove it.
No.
So we're living okay, and we're not the only country that has this capability. I guarantee you that.
No, we're not. But we have perfected most of it, right? That's what makes Russia such an adversary, because it began with them. It began with them. You think it would have started with Germany, but it began with
It was
Russia.
definitely Russia. They're the kings of poisoning. I mean, there's no doubt about that. What do you think about Dr. Fauci with the 111 times he said, I plead the fifth? I mean, he looked guilty as sin, but what's your take on him?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I really don't think too much about Dr. Fauci. I really don't.
Well,
I know everybody was up in arms about it, right? I guess my take on something like, especially in the medical field, when something happens, I'm never one to look back trying to find out who did it, right? But I want to mitigate what the person did. I like solutions
I'm
that
with you
can
on that.
stop what a person has committed, so that people can become immune to whatever nefarious thing a person did. So I really pay attention to the activity. These guys are doing things all the time. He's just one caught.
He's just one.
Right? One that has a suggestion of being caught out of millions.
Well, there's 7 million people that died that we know of, and it's a whole lot more than that because people are still dying from it. And he created a virus in the Wuhan lab, and it was funded by the National Institute of Health, NIH, which he was instrumental in getting the funds for, and he orchestrated it. So let's face it, he's like, okay, and I'm going to put him in the same category with Joseph Mengele. Mengele killed more. Fauci would have killed more, but okay, I'm putting him over there. because he did not care to experiment on the world population. He did not.
They're
care.
worse out there than him, though.
There is
They're
worse.
much
So
worse
that's
than
my
him.
point. Is there
That'd
worse?
kill trillions of
How
people.
many more people? And is there going to be? Do you think we're going to have another pandemic or another big pandemic that's going to hit the
We're
earth?
gonna have lots. We're coming to a compression stage of things, right? There are diseases out there right now. There are. Some of them are contained. Some of them are not. But we know that temperatures are changing. We know that these storms are altering
Are you
the
saying
atmosphere and everything else.
There's diseases out there that are going to eventually mutate, or they're
No,
just
they're just going to be in different. There are diseases right now. They cannot get to us.
okay?
They can't get to us, right? There are parasites out there that'll turn your skin clear in as little as 3 days, see-through. Okay.
What?
And at
Now,
that point,
Mike,
you're dead.
Whoa! What?
Yeah, there's some deadly things out there in the world, but what's holding everything back are the barriers of this planet. The equator is the barrier, right? There are many parasites and many animals that cannot breach the equator barrier, so they stay in controlled areas of the planet. But that barrier is not going to be there. And when these things begin to migrate, they're going to go where the wind takes them. They're going to be found all over the place. There is no plan of action against these things. Well, it used to not be that way, but I guarantee you right now, there are labs working at breakneck pace to come up with some sort of mitigation for everything they can potentially think that they're going to have to deal with. And let's just say they're working overtime. Right? They're working overtime. They've been laxed for a long time, but they're working overtime now. Just with the bugs alone, that could devastate the populace of this planet. And parasites are no joke. There are just too many different types of parasites. And then we do have mutating fungus, right? Fungi. There's a fungus that is indigenous to trees, but now it grows inside of human beings. There's a mold that can grow in your skin now, black mold, right? So think of a black mold that's found in a home, and somebody's hanging out in some moist place, they don't really know it, and it begins to grow on their skin, right? So naturally your body's going to try and fight it. So your body's going to put out this, like a fluid. It's going to coat your legs and arms with a fluid. And that black mold is going to utilize that fluid because it's hydrophobic. It's going to just knock away moisture. It'll begin to spread, but you'll be covered in scabs. And the more you peel off, the more it comes back, right? So people are going to have to deal with issues like that.
A human mold. Parasites
Oh, yeah.
that will eat away and make you become almost transparent.
Yep.
Parasites and molds and fungi that have they been released on the public already, or are they getting ready? Are they trying to perfect them somewhere?
No, they're trying to stop this stuff from spreading, and they're not doing a good job. They don't want to talk about it, so they're in the mitigation phase right now. I personally believe they're going to hit a point where it can't be mitigated. The very people who are supposed to be in control will be taken down by these things. They're going to be prone to all of it.
You're saying
I can't help but to think of Revelation when it says that the kingdom of the beast and all those that were in the kingdom of the beast, right? They had grievous sores.
Yes, it says that. Yes,
right? So they're hit by the very things
that they create.
That they sought to control and create and all this kind of stuff. But again, in the southern hemisphere of this planet there's some deadly things that cannot breach the equator. Soon they'll be able to.
Are you saying because the Antarctica, the melting of the
Or
ice
changes in the planet's,
it's going to release
temperature system and all this, they're going to be able to traverse the equator, right? Because heat, too much heat is not very good for them. They can't be too cold either. They have to have that just right zone. But just so happens that just right zone is going to be the USA, it's going to be Europe, it's going to be the UK, it's going to be Spain, it's going to be all those places.
Northern Hemisphere.
That's right. And when that happens, how are you going to mitigate that? How are you going to stop that, right? They're working at breakneck pace to fight against these things. And they're not doing a good job, I don't believe.
Can't
They're
maybe
just not.
maybe it's over what maybe it's what the Bible says that there'll be pestilences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jesus said there'll be besides earthquakes and famines, there'll be pestilences or plagues or diseases that can't be stopped. I mean, it's all part of this erosion of humanity and the need for Christ to come
That's right.
and to redeem a world that's in trouble. And there'll be an antichrist and a false prophet, a beast that's going to be trying to work at controlling the population through different mechanisms, including maybe the pulling away the antidotes to some of these deadly pathogens. I don't know, but I'm just saying that every possible way to control people is going to be used by this beast kingdom.
Yeah, I'm confident, though. I'm confident of this. And that this is why when COVID-19 came around, somebody asked me, they said, well, what do? Do you take the vaccine or not? I said, you do exactly what the Lord is giving you to do. If God told you to take the vaccine, then have no problem with it. If he told you not to, have no problem with it. But make sure you're doing what the Lord instructed you to do. I've been around pathogens. I should be dead now. I'm not. I'll say that boldly. The VA can't figure it out. Military hospitals and the Naval Academy, they can't figure anything out, right? That is the Lord sustaining.
That's because you believe in the power.
That's right.
Of the blood
if a
of
person
Christ.
believes, these things have no power against the person
Amen.
like that.
That's what the
right?
Bible says.
But they will have power against those in the earth who have zero covering, who
Amen.
have rejected that covering. They're going
Amen.
to start suffering, right?
Amen.
But Christians should not worry about that. But there was something I was going to tell you, Pastor Paul, and I totally forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was in the process of this. The Beast King. We were talking about the beast.
Okay.
I know of a tactic. And I know it's. Forgive me, I'm a controversial person.
No, that's okay.
But
it's okay.
Pastor, have you noticed that when anything is overcome or come against our faith in whatever nation we're in, we were made angry months before that happened? Have you ever noticed that? I want you to look into things and put that together. Before things have happened to any believer out there, there was a period where something angered that same believer. And then something happens.
So in other words, we're getting set up by making us angry.
Yeah.
Then they hit us with whatever it is they're going to hit us with.
Please remember that.
I will. I'm writing it
Please
down.
remember that. That's a tactic that continues to work. Boy, and I know people, they like that word righteous anger, right?
Yeah.
But that same Bible says there is none righteous, no, not one.
No, we don't have the ability to have righteousness.
Right? We can't. God's righteous anger
It's
is
just
more loving than our most compassionate
When
moment.
we say I had righteous anger, no, let's just say what you had. You had anger.
Right.
Okay, you didn't have
But
righteous anger. You just had anger. And the Bible says anger, but sin not. So you
anger
can
and
get
sin not,
angry,
yes.
just don't do nothing. Okay.
That's right.
But
Look into that. Look into
I'm
that.
going
See
to
that,
look
that
into
the,
that.
the body is made, or a person is made angry first,
and then the
and
enemy
then something
can hit
gets
you.
to him. Yeah.
We must weaken, and we must apparently let down our guard when we're angry, when we're not walking in the love of Christ or in the peace of Christ. So I'm going to look into that. Mike. I really am. I'm going to look into a lot of things you said tonight, because you dropped a bunch of stuff that's like, whoa, I got to go look into that. Mike, thank you so much. I mean, this has really been a very eye-opening, very enlightening, I think, of a lot of wisdom and warning, and for us to study these things. I'm going to look into the making the populace angry, that's for sure. And I want to thank you for coming on and being on the show again tonight. Thank you so much for that.
Pastor Paul, it's always an honor.
COT's base of operations is right here at thecounciloftime.com. COT has no other outlet or venue. These are other folks who will rebroadcast. Anything COT does is by the main page here at thecounciloftime.com.
Notice also in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boastful, proud, blasphemous. It takes the grace of God to change us, folks. How can you be saved if you're not willing to repent? And the Lord Jesus Christ said, except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish.